David, thank you so much for joining us on the show today.
My pleasure.
Now, a year ago, you were in India for a culinary cultural experience. Tell me about that.
Yeah, we went for a scout last November, and it was something that I wasn't sure what to expect.
Yeah.
Certainly, you have ideas of India, and we went to explore.
How do you turn that into a television series and, have all your personal experiences in that at the same time?
Oh, it's interesting because Indians and Italians are very similar. When I got off the
We are.
plane, when I got off the plane, it was chaotic, it was nuts, it was dysfunctional. I was like, oh, just like Italy. And so, you have a lot of the cultural elements that are similar. And so what I do is I go through India with the eyes of an Italian, and it's amazing how similar the cultures are.
Yeah. What do you think some of those similarities are?
Well, love of food, family, the matriarch, the mother, and the Indian son and all that, the Italian son. I mean, but I think mostly, there's a lot of heart. The food scene is unbelievable. It's very regional as well, just like in Italy. And so you have a lot of those parallels. And so we go there, and I think we were able to see an India that maybe was different because of my Italian background.
Yeah. Now, as a chef, after trying all this Indian food, what do you think of the spices? What do you think of the flavors?
Well, I'm a big fan of spice. Certainly, it's not hugely popular in Italian cooking, but I mean, I've been criticized to actually make my Italian dishes too spicy.
Yeah.
I mean, I was down there and learned a lot of recipes, a lot of traditional Indian cooking. I also did Italian fusion, and so I'm exploring with
Italian fusion with Indian.
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh,
So
tell
I
me about
made,
that.
Well, I made certain dishes. So I made a mutton bolognese or a mutton ragu, and I put in a garam masala. Just finished it with that. Changed parsley for coriander. I mean, small touches, and it was still wonderfully Italian, but with a bit of an Indian hit.
So when you're making fusion dishes like this with two distinct, culinary cultures right here, Italian food and Indian food, is there a science behind creating some of these dishes?
The Italians say quanto basta, the Indians say in Hindi andaz.
Yeah.
As much as you need, just whatever.
Yeah.
And it's you talk about the differences, but really Italians love their tomatoes, their plum tomatoes. Indians the same thing. The legumes, the dal, the chickpeas, the lentils. I mean, that's all, the onions, the garlic. That's all part of both cultures. The Italians talk with their hands, the Indians do the nod.
So when it comes to Dolce India, what is it that you want the viewers to take away from your personal experience and from the show itself?
Well, I think what we're showing really to the world is how wonderful India is as a culture, how diverse it is. I think we're showing a very sensual, sophisticated, progressive, and traditional India. And I think something that most TV shows haven't actually explored.